Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the confusing language of corporate filings. Today we're taking a peek at M3 Brigade Acquisition v Corp, their latest report, and let's just say there are some interesting developments to uncover. Like a treasure hunt where the treasure map is made of legalese. And before we dive in, if you want more straight to the point corporate insights, make sure you subscribe and ring that notification bell. We also have a growing community on Discord, link in the description below, where we break down these filings even further. So what is the big news from M3 Brigade Acquisition v Corp, or as they are known, MBI? Well, essentially they have provided an update on their financial condition, and some very important details about a proposed business combination. Think of it like a company announcing it is getting ready to merge with another one, and they need to tell everyone what is happening financially before the big event. The report itself is a Form 8K, which is what companies use to announce big news that could be important for investors. This filing is dated the 17th of February 2026, and it is talking about events happening around that time. Here we see a breakdown of what makes up the company's traded units. You've got ordinary shares and these things called redeemable warrants. Warrants are basically options to buy shares at a set price later on. It is a way companies can raise money and give investors a potential upside. This is the commission file number, essentially the company's official identifier with the sexy, think of it like a social security number for a company. This is the company's main phone number. It is usually a basic piece of information found in these reports. M3. Brigade Acquisition v Corp is an emerging growth company. This means they are a newer company and get to follow some slightly different rules compared to really big, established corporations. It is like a fast pass for newer businesses as they grow. This section is where we get to the juicy financial update. Even though this is a current report, they are referencing information disclosed in a registration statement. This is important because it tells us how much money they have in their trust account. As of the 31st of December 2025, M3 Brigade Acquisition v Corp had about $306.88 million in cash and marketable securities in their trust account. This is a significant amount. Remember, these are special acquisition companies or SPACs, and their main purpose is to find another company to merge with. So this money is essentially what they have available to make that merger happen and what they are using to operate while they search. This filing is also talking about a specific merger. The company has disclosed that they are in a registration statement for a business combination with ReserveOne Holdings Incorporated. This is a really key piece of information. So that $306.88 million is likely going to be a big part of this deal. It is crucial to note that this preliminary financial result for the cash and marketable securities has not been audited by their accounting firm. This means it is an estimate, and the actual final numbers could be different. This is not uncommon, especially for preliminary figures shared for a merger. They're giving investors a snapshot, but the final picture might have some adjustments. Now we get into the details about this proposed business combination. This part is essentially a legal notice to investors about how they can get more information and what to watch out for. They filed something called a registration statement on Form S-4. This document is used when a company is planning to issue new securities, often in connection with a merger or acquisition. It contains a lot of important information for potential investors. They are strongly advising investors to read the preliminary proxy statement and other relevant documents when they become available. This is standard procedure for mergers. It contains crucial information about the deal, the companies involved, and the terms, so investors can make informed decisions. They are basically saying, read the fine print. This section talks about who might be considered to be participants in urging shareholders to vote for or against the business combination. It is a way to ensure transparency about who is influencing the shareholder vote. Essentially, they're telling you that the company's directors, officers, and even some employees might have a vested interest in the outcome and could be encouraging shareholders in a certain direction. They point out that more information on these folks is in the proxy statement. This is a really important legal disclaimer. They are making it crystal clear that this communication is just for informational purposes. It is not an advertisement to buy or sell stocks. They are not trying to convince you to invest right now. They are merely providing information about the potential merger and the process. This is a big one. This section is all about forward-looking statements. These are statements about the future, what the company expects, hopes, or plans to happen. Think of things like, we expect to complete the merger by X date, or we anticipate achieving Y benefits. They list out many examples of these forward-looking statements. This is where they talk about the business combination, the anticipated benefits, the timing, and even broader market conditions like the price of cryptocurrencies. It seems this ReserveOne company might have some ties to crypto, which is a very volatile market. They also mention risks related to ReserveOne's anticipated business plan and strategy, including the risk that their strategy may change significantly in the future, perhaps even moving away from crypto-related activities. And then they throw in a very long list of risks. This is where they cover their bases legally. They are telling you all the things that could go wrong. This includes risks like the merger not completing, ReserveOne having limited operating history, potential legal proceedings, high shareholder redemptions which can affect the stock's trading, listing issues on stock exchanges, and of course the general volatility of the cryptocurrency market, if that is indeed where ReserveOne operates. They also emphasize that these future-looking statements are only valid as of the date of the report. They are not promising anything will happen. They are not obligated to update these statements even if things change. It is a very strong disclaimer to protect themselves from future lawsuits if their predictions don't come true. This final section primarily lists the exhibits attached to the filing. Think of these as supporting documents. In this case, the main exhibit listed is the interactive data file. This is what allows the SEC's systems to process and analyze the company's financial information more easily. It is essentially a digital version of the report designed for computers. And finally, the signature. The report is signed by Robert Reeves Collins, the Chief Executive Officer of M3 Brigade Accession V Corp, indicating he is officially attesting to the accuracy of the information presented in this report. Now, let's decode what is really happening here. M3, Brigade Accession V Corp, is a SPAC, and it is telling us it is moving forward with a merger with a company called ReserveOne. The most concrete number we have is the roughly $306.88 million in its trust account. This is the war chest for the deal. However, we don't have audited financials for ReserveOne itself yet in this filing, and many of the details about their business, especially concerning the crypto market, are heavily couched in risk and uncertainty. The extensive list of risks, particularly those related to ReserveOne's business plan and the volatile crypto environment, suggests a high-risk, high-reward scenario. They're signaling that this is a speculative venture. The company wants to merge and is providing preliminary financial data for itself, while also warning investors extensively about the potential downsides of the target company. The overall direction appears to be a push towards finalizing this merger, but the path is paved with significant warnings and a lack of detailed audited financial information for the acquisition target itself. The risk factors are numerous and emphasize the potential for the merger to not occur or for the combined entity to face significant operational and market challenges. It feels like they are trying to get this deal done, but the SEC filing is loaded with caveats. The big opportunity might be the potential growth of ReserveOne, whatever that might be, but the big risk is that it fails due to its nascent stage, market volatility, or inability to execute its strategy. It is a classic SPAC scenario, significant cash available, searching for a promising target, but with inherent uncertainties and risks that need careful consideration by any investor. Alright, that is our breakdown of M3 Brigade Accession V Corp. Its latest filing, what is your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future, especially with this merger on the horizon? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.